Okay, so in this problem, pretty much Milad's truck is going this way and Suhin's Mercedes is going left this way. And the question is, what time will these two cars collide and crash? What is the final velocity of Milad's truck? What is the final velocity of Suhin's Mercedes? And what is the final position, or where this is right here, this collision? So how do we do that? Well, we have two equations that we use here. We're going to find VF using this equation and find our time using this equation. And then once we're done with that, we can use displacement to find the location at which the crash occurred. So what's our first step? Well, let's set up our equations. So VF1 is going to equal our acceleration times time. Well, the acceleration is given, which is positive 0.413 meters per second times the time. So we can just leave that there. Let's do Suhin's Mercedes, VF2 equals negative 0.227 times time. Then what's our next equation? We can do displacement. So the displacement here are x final minus x initial, and all we have is our x initial. So for one, it's going to be minus negative 670 meters, and that is going to equal our change in displacement is going to be our initial velocity, which is 0, and 0 times time is what? 0. So then we're left with 1/2 at squared, so equals 1/2 a, which is 0.413, and then time is, we don't know time. So time squared. So that's for finding our time. And then to set up the other equation, it's xf, because they have the same collision point, so it's the same xf, minus the initial, which is going to be 3,468 meters, equals, the 0 cancels that out, so it's 1/2 acceleration, negative 0.227, times time squared. Now, what do we need to do next? Well, we see there's xf on both sides, so what we can do is isolate xf, and once we isolate xf, we can set them equal to each other and pretty much solve for time. So how do we do that? We just pretty much put this on this side and take this on this side. So let's do that. So our new equation is going to be xf equals, this is positive, so it's subtracted, so it's 1/2 0.413 times time squared, and we have to minus this to that side, minus 670, and then our other equation is xf equals, we have to add this, so it's 1/2 negative 0.227 t squared plus 3,468 meters. Now, what do we realize? Our xf's are the same, so we can just plug this into that xf and make them equal to each other. Now, we're not going to manually do that. That's why we have a calculator, and we can go to our numeric solver. So math up, numeric solver, and I've already set all these equations up, so just put these two. E1 is this, E2 is that. Enter, make this 0, and then alpha, enter to solve. And what is our x, or aka t, which is time? Our time equals 113, or 114 if we're doing safe fix. So 114 seconds is the time of the collision. So let's write that down, 114 seconds, and we can box that. So that's done. Now we can find our VF1 and VF2. How do we do that? Our equation right here, and we have it already set up. So let's just plug that in the calculator. So it's 0.413 times our time, which is 114. What do we get? Our final velocity for Milad's truck is going to be 47.1 meters per second. That is an answer, just box that. Then we just do it for the other equation, which is Suhin's Mercedes, which is negative 0.227 times 114 seconds, and the final velocity is negative 25.9 meters per second, because it is going in the negative direction. That's why the velocity is negative and Milad's velocity is positive. And then to find our final location at where this crash occurred, and Suhin's car got obliterated because Milad's trek is crazy, we do XF, and pretty much, we can just plug back in the time to any of the equations. So let's just we can do this equation. So XF equals 0.5 times 0.413 times time squared, which we have time, which is 114 seconds, squared in parentheses, and then minus 670. And our final location at where this occurred is 2013 meters. And that is how we solve that problem.